Hi, good evening, and welcome to THFC Till I Die. Tottenham past to present. Yes, I am back from Spurs. Philip Brady's back from Spurs. Ellie just lives in Spurs. So there we are. We're all together. It seems weird talking to you two on the screen again. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It is so weird seeing you two on the screen. It really, because we're so used to being together. We were together on Wednesday, and me and Ellie. I'll tell you a story. Me and Ellie spent the day Tuesday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, didn't we, Ellie? And Ellie's frozen. She's that excited about it. And
no, I'm okay. I'm back again.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Ellie, it was the most fun afternoon, wasn't it? It was a bit of a giggle, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were waiting for David and Jack to come out of their tour. And we got talking. I thought I spotted some Spurs ladies, but they were rugby players instead. And then I was a bit scared to go over to the new coach. And Dermot made his way over there.
Dermot bounced his way over there.
And he introduced himself. And,
do you know what it was, Ellie? Let me go through the whole spiel, right? Of, hi, I'm Dermot. I'm from THFC Till I Die. Sorry, we play rugby.
Yeah. And they didn't even look like rugby players. They looked like footballers.
Yeah. Anyway, Philip, first how are you, sir? I know you still got your bit of a cough, but it was great to see you Wednesday. I tell you one thing. Watching the Godfather at a football match is the funniest thing I have ever witnessed in my life. Right. I had a fella behind me slagging Son off for the whole game. Mr. Brady in front of me was slagging the referee off the whole game. It was really funny. Every 5 minutes, you can see that. It was seriously funny.
He was some referee anyway.
Yeah. The fella
rubbish. I've seen that
would you like to say what you called the AC Milan team afterwards? Your first reaction was a classic.
Which one, Dom? I called them quite a lot of things.
I've never heard. The problem is, I've never heard this man swear before in my life, and it's the first time I heard him swear. It was like,
I'll keep it clean. I called them a crowd of cheating bastards, which is probably milder than what I actually said, but you know. But I mean, let's face it. Every time Spurs came within 5 yards of them, they hit the deck, and the referee bought it every single time.
Yeah,
it was just pathetic. He put Spurs players for a couple of aerial challenges. The AC Milan boys did exactly the same. He let them away with it. There was just no consistency in the refereeing at all, and you know, I don't know. I just give up on refs. No, I thought maybe a continental ref might be half decent, but no, they're as bad as the Premiership one. No, that's not an excuse. I'm not using that as an excuse. We didn't deserve to get anything out of the match, but the referee should have been more impartial.
No, I tell you one thing. I know he's in the chat, Mr. Harris. Big up, sir. I spent 3 lovely days with Jack Kanicki and David Harris. Honest to God, it was like my first proper lads' holiday. And it was so funny. We'd get back from doing whatever we're doing, and we'd stay up to the early hours of the morning just talking about everything and anything. It was a privilege to spend some time with them. Really enjoyed that company. And Tuesday night was great crack, wasn't it, Ellie? It really was, with Nick and his daughter and Chris there and Brad,
it was.
and Dave and Jack. It was great crack there Tuesday. It was good. Woke up with a very sore head Wednesday morning.
It was nice hearing from Jack about your snoring, Herbert.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. I did warn them.
Your stays on tour, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Philip, you're spot on. You're spot on there. Right, shall we see who's in the chat before we get carried on? Ellie drops me in it even more. We've got Moondog. Big up Moondog. He says, I would much rather have got get rid of the players first, then have Poch back.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know. I actually agree with them guys on that. So do you know, we will get into that. Big up Ming Hamlet. Good evening, Dermot and Philip and Queen Ellie. Mig, it says, big up. Lewis, big up. It says, hi guys, big up Lewis. Hope you're doing well, sir. We've got Tom Tacker. Evening, everyone. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're bouncing. We're well.
Right.
Well, we're doing the show talking Tottenham. We're always happy talking about Spurs. We've got United Spurs with Erica Jacob, and I enjoyed watching a bit of you last night, Jacob. I couldn't sleep, and I put on, and your voice just gently put me to sleep like a nice audiobook. You've got, I agree with me as son. You have an audiobook voice. Well, big up, Jacob. He says, big ups, THFC, TR Crew, big up, sir. We have Daniel Sandoval. Big up, Daniel. Hope I still love your picture of Maradona in the Spurs kit. I mean, would you love Maradona playing for Tottenham? Wow. We've got Lewis that says, to be honest, Poch is the only one that will give a lift to the fans in the stadium and around the world. I would have to disagree, but I get where you're pointing, but I don't agree with it. Who else we've got in here? We've got Daniel Zita. Big up, Daniela. She says, big up to you all. Is it just depressing and toxic around this club, in my opinion? Yeah. It really is. But look, we're here to give you some therapy. We're here to take you through the dark times and trying to point you into the good times with Ellie's, with the Godfather's history, with his knowledge, and just Ellie's just Queen Ellie being Queen Ellie. You know, just talking about times and that. That's what we try to do on this channel. We've got Andrew Gregory. Big up Andrew Gregory. It says, evening, Dermot, Philip and Ellie.
Hello,
We've got the legend himself, the Irish Hotspur himself. Big up. It says, it was great to spend time with you all. It was a pleasure. I was also going nuts at the whole game. Dave, I'm surprised you didn't run onto the pitch and actually chase Sanchez and some of them around the pitch. If you'd done that, I could have played the Benny Hill music. Like, you know, remember the end of Benny Hill when he was chasing? I tell you one thing, if Sanchez or Dave coming on them, Sanchez thinking, shit, I better get going. Big up, Dave, though. Honestly, sir, it was a pleasure to spend time with you. And then we just got Mick talking to everyone. We'll bring them up. And we've got Cockadoocus. Crocodocks. It says, hey guys, do you think Levy is falling on his own sword by constantly making bad decisions and will be more effective than any protest in terms of getting him out? Philip, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, you could say he's fallen on his sword. Well, Mourinho. Okay, first of all, sacking Poch, right? That's one. Appointing Mourinho 2, appointing Nuno 3, and appointing Conte 4. I think the guy is immune to falling on his sword now because he's fallen on it so many times. I don't think appointing a manager that doesn't work out is going to make Levy leave the club. I don't think that's good. That's going to get him out. He's going to get out when he's made an offer that he feels is acceptable. He could appoint 10 more managers before that happens. That's the only problem. You know, but no, I don't think the managing appointment is going to make him, unless now there's a march down the high road by 50,000 Spurs fans, all carrying torches, going to burn the ground down. It takes something like that. Yeah, you know, like when the witch, like the witches Salem march type thing, you know. But no, it's going to be a financial offer is going to get rid of Levy, not a managerial appointment. in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Ellie, do you want to add anything to Crocodoc's comment there?
Yeah, I just want to say that if he, I agree with Philip, it needs money to get rid of him, not a manager. He won't, because look, 22 years he's lasted. He's lasted so many managers as well, outlived them, and he's still sitting in that seat making those wheeler-dealer transfer cock-ups. And he's bringing us in duff players that don't even want to play for us. That's the problem. It'd be good if somebody can come in and give us a fresh start, a total reset, and give us some good football to watch. Because at the end of the day, if we don't win anything and we're playing good football, at least we're watching good football. Instead of that mire that we witnessed the other day and we've been witnessing for most of the season.
Look, for me, I agree with you, Ellie. I totally agree with you. Look, for me, Levy's made plenty of mistakes over his tenure at Tottenham, but we cannot keep watching what we're watching. It's dreadful. It's boring. Tottenham's DNA is to attack. So appoint a manager that knows Tottenham's DNA, that will get the Deadwood out of the club like a Dyer, Sanchez. Kick them out. Cancel the contracts. I don't care what you do with them. Get him out and back him. That's all we asked for. We asked to go to a game to enjoy it. And look, Dave said here, and I agree with him. He says when they clapped us at the end, I was roaring for them to F up, and yeah, so was I. Often said a bunch of cowards. The two guys that clapping in front of me wanted to kill me. Now, the only player I clapped was Harry Kane. That's the only one player. He came around where the South Stand is and clapped to the fans. He's the only one I clapped.
Yeah, I would have clapped Ollie Skip as well. If I was there, I would have clapped Ollie Skip because he gave it his all.
I don't agree with you, Ellie.
Tackles. I liked the way he played because he was
in the second half,
playing with his heart.
The first half, the second half.
I disagree with you two. I don't think he did. I thought Højbjerg did a better job in the second half than Skippy.
The first half, everybody was rubbish.
Yeah.
I liked the way he battled for us.
Yeah.
I don't. For me, Højbjerg put more of a shift in the second half than Skippy did. That's just my opinion.
Listen, the problem is we are the most predictable team in the Premiership. It doesn't take a half qualified manager can suss our tactics out and nullify them, and it's happened in time after time. Even Sheffield United were able to do it. So whenever the players coming over and applauding them or whatever, the bottom line is the manager needs to get a kick in the arse for the way he's putting that team out every week, with absolutely no idea of how to create goals. What we do is it's get the ball, pass it back, pass it forward, pass it back. Very few forward passes in that game on Wednesday, if you remember. Very few. Long kick. I think the most productive long kick in the whole game was Fraser Foster hoofing the ball up the pitch near the end.
Yeah.
And that's pathetic. Pathetic. I don't want to see crap football. I'll go and watch a schoolboy match. Don't fancy paying good money to watch a team not even coming out and basically not even busting a gut to get the most important game of the season. They treat it like a bloody practice match.
Yeah.
Do you know what the worst thing is, lads? Is their movement. They were like statues. They weren't moving for one another to make space. Like standing there like idiots.
Look, for me,
something will happen.
I said it yesterday in my game thoughts. Look, Dave says it as well here, and I bring up his comment as well, and he makes a very good comment. He makes a very good point here. And it's more or less what I was talking about yesterday. If Poch is interviewed for the job, which I think he already has been, to be fair, has the last 4 years been one massive expensive mistake?
Yeah.
The answer to that has got to be yes.
How much compensation have we paid to every single manager
that's
we still mistake on?
30 or 40 million at least.
Yeah. Are we still playing Nuno? We're still playing Nuno, aren't we?
No, I think he got another job, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he got a job out in Saudi Arabia or somewhere out there,
Yeah, he did.
We cannot keep limping on from manager to manager. This is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. This club means something. This club is our club. And it's turning into a fucking circus.
But this is the most important managerial appointment we're going to make in years, because a lot depends on this, whether Harry Kane stays, whether the team falls apart, or the new manager is progressive enough and talks a good enough game to keep the likes of Harry Kane there with the promise of better things to come. All we want is a manager to come in that will play Tottenham-style football, which is on the front foot attacking, not counter-attacking, sitting on the back foot waiting to be picked. That's what we want. And there's only a few. Okay, Pochettino's played good football, but there's only like 2 other candidates that I would think could match that. And whether they're in the running or not, I know we'll talk about them later on. But we need a manager that knows the Tottenham style of football. Mourinho didn't know it, Nuno didn't know it, and Conte definitely doesn't know it.
I just want to welcome a few more people.
And we should be busting our guts to keep Kane now.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone, Ellie, but we'll get into that. Just want to welcome a few more people in. Mr. Ben Kaufman, I hope you're doing well, sir. So I didn't get to see you when I was over. I will try to do it the next time. I wasn't feeling, to be honest with you, I was worse for wear. If you went on to Mia's show, you would have heard me. I was not in a good state. I got out of bed and walked straight into a wall. That was what I thought the door was. That's how bad I was. But I blamed the tequila on that one. But big up, Ben. Also, big up David Clark. And I have to say, David, what you put in on one of the videos we put up, I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Here's a man, right, who's after 61 years, right? He said along the lines, if he sacks Conte, he's given up on Tottenham. 61 years this man supported Tottenham Hotspur. He's like yourself, Philip, and you, Ellie, like in the 70s. You've seen the Bill Nick sides. You've seen I grew up with the Keith Birkinshaw side. This man's seen it all. And he's willing to give up after 61 years his support for this club.
I wonder, can I ask David the question? Is David happy with the style of football that Conte shows to us, that he wants him to stay? Because that's very much at odds with what most of the fan base is like at the moment. They don't like the style of football and they want Conte replaced. So has David seen something that Conte can do in the future that he hasn't done up to now? I wonder. You know?
Maybe.
I was fully supportive of Conte until the last 3 or 4 weeks. But I've just been watching things very closely. And even in his press conferences now, he's throwing players under the bus. He's doing things that you don't normally see from a manager that knows he's safe in his position.
Just want to speak up to Tequila 316. Tequila, Jesus, has great stuff. Doesn't half give you a headache. Big up Tequila. We've got Stella 85. He says, Stella, he is toxic. Love the balanced topics you guys produce. Look, he does what he does. We don't take any notice. But look, thank you. It's very kind of competent what you pay to us. We tried to do that. But look, he does. We leave wherever he does. We leave it to him. We just concentrate on our own, and we just concentrate on the channels that we love and cherish and look after. So whatever he does, it's up to him. Leave it to him. But thank you to Stella 85. You're very kind with your comments, and we tap our hat off to you. We've got Paul here. Got my man. I'll tell you one thing, Paul. Your video. I showed. Remember the night I showed it to you, Philip?
Yeah. Brilliant.
What got me was the cone falling over.
I know.
That's what
I actually moved quicker than some of our defenders fell over that time.
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to him. On
I reckon if Sanchez was in that video, he would have tripped up over the cone.
Yeah. Ben says total reset is needed. Players out, manager out, the director of football out, and chairman on board out.
The whole lot of them.
I disagree with. Right, Philip. Why would you disagree with that?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at players. Some of the players, not all the players, obviously, but some of them. Right. I think the time has come. I think Conte's position, be it now or in the summer, is untenable. I think he's more or less made that clear. He's not going to be here in the summer. Whether he stays beyond tomorrow or the next match, I don't know. Manager out. Well, that's taken care of. Director of football out. I mean, I hear that Paratici has appealed his 30-month ban from working in Italy. Now that leads me to why is he worried about working in Italy? Does that mean he wants to go back to Italy in the near future? Because otherwise he's not banned from working in England. So that's an interesting chairman on the board out, but we know that's what's been on the cards for a while. But as I said earlier, until a suitable cash offer comes in, that's not going to happen. And cash is king when it comes to Levy. He'll go through 5 more managers, 10 more managers, as long as he's happy, not happy with the money that's he's been offered with the club. So I'm afraid, hopefully we're not stuck with him, but I'm afraid we might be.
Ellie, but just your opinion before I give mine.
I'm going to be controversial. I want Conte to stay, right? Because I think he's got his heart in the right place at the club. He's giving mixed messages, but the ones that he does give about him wanting to stay, like he said, he feels part of the family, feels loved at the club, you know, and I don't know, he gives very mixed messages, so you don't know whether he wants to stay or not. Maybe if we show him a bit of love against Forest and we get a good result as well, it might pick his spirits up, because you can see he's very, very down at the moment, because like he's been ill, he's lost 3 of his mates as well. And, you know, I just feel I like him as a manager. I think he wears his heart on his sleeve and he's got a passion for our club. I mean, look at that Leicester game when we came 3-2 from behind. It was fabulous. He does love the club. It's just whether he can get the right players in to play his system, because his system is proven. It's just not proven at Spurs. We haven't got the right players.
He's too stubborn.
He's too stubborn about the players.
He's unbendable. He won't change his. He will not ever change his system, regardless what the position of the game is. You know, good managers.
Because he believes in it. That's why he believes in it.
You know, he's stuck in his way, and he can believe all he likes. It doesn't work.
I
know. It doesn't work.
Sometimes he's got to go to a plan B. I agree with that.
I hate to say that. The last 6 months have shown that he is not a good fit for the way Tottenham should be playing. And I don't like saying that. I would love to be successful, you know, but I don't think he's going to be. And one other thing, the fact now that even Perisic is supposed to come out and said he wants to go back to Inter Milan, I think he knows what's coming down the road, and he's bailing us because Conte will not be doing it.
He probably had some private conversations, hasn't he?
Sorry, Ellie, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right.
Look, my view on this, leave Paratici. He's had to clean up the mess from Hitchen. Let's not all forget the mess Hitchen left us in. Let's not forget that now. Come on. We all seem to be saying that people saying Paratici, oh, he's not the Don, he can't do this. Look at the mess who he took over from Hitchen. Hitchen left us in a fucking state with the crap shit players he's bought.
But the only thing to counter that argument is, right, it looks to me as if players that have come into the club in the last season, Spence, Poch didn't, or Conte doesn't want him. Who signed him? Danjuma, from what from Conte said today, he doesn't fancy him either. Who signed them? So is Paratici going against Conte in signing these players? That's where my problem with Paratici comes in. Surely the two should be on the same wavelength, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Just pause.
We can do match of the day.
Well, don't have to do call. I will be bringing Philip and Ellie with me. Do you know? They will be bringing the dream team with me. So, do you know? The one call, do you know? Willing to do match of the day.
Show 55 minutes of the fight.
The host.
Yeah, and then we'll have Philip Brady as Alan Shearer, and we'll have Queen Ellie as Alan.
I'll be Alex Scott. There you go.
Alex Scott. There you go. Big up. Look, no, just my point on Ben's point. Look, I agree. Look, I'm very much now fed up with Conte. If he wants to leave, for God's sake, just leave.
I don't think he wants to leave, though.
But Ellie, he's playing mind games with the
club. I think he does. He's sending out dog whistles all the time.
I know, but then he's sending out other dog whistles that he doesn't want to leave, all these little sublime messages.
But his press conferences are becoming more and more critical of the players. And that's a new departure for him. He's criticising them. He more or less said Richarlison wasn't good enough today. He's more or less said the same about Danjuma. You know, that's not a thing you say if you're looking for a long-term tenure at a club. In my opinion, that is. But I don't know. Maybe he's lost in translation, but it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good.
I don't know what Stanley is a leader of. He's not a leader of me or my what I think of anyway. I'll tell you that now.
No.
Philip Brady, Dave Harris, Jack Kanicki, Sean
Oops.
Dermot's frozen.
Yeah,
I think Stelios has done that to you, Dermot. Come on, come back to the dark side. Yeah, so basically, I agree. I agree with some of what Ben said about the players, though. We've got to have a reset on a lot of the players because we've rewarded failure in keeping Dyer and Davis and Sanchez. We've rewarded failure, haven't we?
And that's another point there from Ben there. He's saying Hitchin almost the ball, Skriniar, another top players who didn't sign the check. Levy, very good point, Ben. Very good point.
Yeah. Can I just finish off my point?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I thought you were there for a while.
You were frozen, so we took over.
Yeah, it was Levy got out my computer. Look, I say it again. Somebody said, where was that comment? There we go. That's the comment. I would follow Dave Harris, Jack Kinnicky, Sean Butler, Philip Brady, Ellie. I won't say surname Ellie because I can't pronounce it and I'll make a jackass of it. Okay.
Don't let it out.
Yeah. They are the people I would follow to the ends of this earth. To hell and back, I follow them guys. Stelios is not a leader. He's like all the rest of us, a YouTuber. That's it. He has his own opinion. I have mine. Philip has his. Ellie has her. Dave and Jack have theirs. Sean Butler has his. He's no boss of no fan base. He's no boss of me. He won't be telling me what to do. And that's my own opinion on it. Sorry for the outburst.
That's okay.
It's all right.
Ellie likes it when I get mad. You can see her giggling. She starts going like this. Go, come on, Dermatron.
Dangerous Dermot.
Yeah, as Dave's now calling me Dermatronics. That's a new one now. Benford Hitchin almost got the Babler Skinnier, another top players in who he didn't sign the check. I sort of don't agree with that, but look.
But then we could have got Jack Grealish as well, and they wouldn't pay the extra for him. We could have got Bruno Fernandes, wouldn't pay the extra.
Yeah, but you can't keep
because Levy wouldn't go the extra mile, you know.
Yeah, but you can't keep blaming. I'm not Levy in, but you can't keep blaming Levy for everything.
No, I'm not blaming him for everything. I'm just blaming him for not wanting to spend the money that he should be spending. He's not.
You can blame him for not being those
17 million. He wants to get him for 14 million. He won't pay the difference, and that's where we've lost out so much. I mean, Dermot and Ellie, you saw the money that was taken in at the bar there on Wednesday night. A couple of nights of that was the difference in those transfer fees, no problem.
No.
False economy, not to the asking price.
I can't hear the two at the same time. What were you saying there, Ellie? So we can get your.
I'm just saying they're making a mint. They've got the money. Just bump up the money when you need to get the player. We've had to put up with Dyer and Sanchez all season. Luckily, Sanchez hasn't had much of a look in this season, but other seasons he has. You know, and it's not good enough.
Look, I agree with this with Ben. I do. This one thing I do agree with you, Ben, to go to the Ajax system. But there again, we've got a crap youth system.
That's going to take years to do that.
Yeah, but
not so much with Jermaine Defoe. He's doing wonders with our under 18s.
Well, I tell you what, Eddie, that's going to be a very good talking point, and we will get on to that. That's one of the questions. We will get on to that. So look, we're going to get on with the show now. Big up to everyone who's in the chat. Big up to Sophie. Big up to Lisa as well from Mexico. Big up Lisa. We've got the Stella here putting his own points. Yeah, sort of agree with you. We've got. I can never say this man's name. Sorry, I've just got to go for a minute. Philip, can you carry on with the first question? Hang on.
I think get it up now. It's a bit of an anagram, so I'll just call him South. Yeah. Right.
With the Poch name being linked to Spurs, is this unsettling to the players? And I'll be back in 2 minutes. Sorry.
It's probably unsettling to the players that were there when he left the first time around, because some of them would have been maybe not instrumental in him going, but they were part of the reason he went. So I think maybe Eric Dyer, Sanchez, Ben Davis, Hugo Lloris, Harry Kane and Son, they're the ones that were there. Maybe there was another one as well, but I'll leave Harry Kane and Son out of that one. But I think the defenders that might have, or the players that might have gone and had a word in Leave's ear will have some slightly worried, but the rest of them have no reason to. I think the rest of them, if they're not getting on with the way Conte's setting up the team, they will want a manager coming in that's got bright attacking ideas. And I think they should welcome Poch or anyone that comes with open arms, providing this new manager has got the Tottenham way of playing football, not defensive 5 men at the back football. We need to go more up front, in your face football, attack from the first minute. I always go back to the 16-17 season, the last one at the Lane, where we blew teams away for fun. What would we give not give to be back in those days again? 17 wins out of 19 matches and 2 draws. That's the way Spurs should be at home. Instead of losing games regularly to teams we should be beating. I don't think the players, as I said, apart from the few that might have reservations, most of the players should welcome Poch back or whoever comes with open arms.
Look, for me, I think it is slightly unsettling to the players. I think it's I heard it there Wednesday. Fans singing from Pochettino's name in the South Stand. You could hear it. Now, if the players are hearing that, we played the best football in a generation or a long, long time under Pochettino, especially that last season when we went unbeaten at the end of the whole game at White Hart Lane. We nearly won the league. We got to semi-finals, finals, but just couldn't get across that line.
Oh, no.
I think it does upset the players because it takes them thinking, "Oh, is this manager going? So do we need to give all our effort to Conte?" I saw it there on Wednesday. Some of them players were only putting 8% in.
There was no effort.
No effort whatsoever. So
they were
statues.
Yeah, are they thinking, hang on a minute here. We've got Poch might be coming in. Let's save ourselves for Poch. They threw Conte under the bus on Wednesday. Pure and simple. Threw him under the bus and they drove the bus over him. And then back again, just for pure measure. It was disgusting. I was so angry with that performance. That is a Champions League, getting to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And then they had the goal to roll out Steve Perriman at halftime.
I know.
And then you hear them saying, Steve Perriman says, a man who's scored twice against AC Milan in 1972 when we beat them 2-1, who lifted 2 FA Cups, who was suspended for the 84 UEFA Cup final, one of our most successful captains. And they wouldn't, players like that would have given their lives for Tottenham. They didn't. And it's because Poch's name's been linked and they're not going to give their all. It's very unsettling. Ellie, I'll ask you, look, what would you, if you were a player at Tottenham, what would you do? How would your mind be at the moment thinking Conte could be out or is leaving, Poch might be back? You've been a former player.
Yeah.
So, you're the best one to ask. How would your mentality be at the moment if you were playing now?
The thing is, I'm a Spurs lady. I'm from Spurs. I'm from the area, so I'll give my all. I don't really care about what managers there and what tactics are there, but I'll give him my all. I don't care what's unsettling me. When I'm going on that pitch and I'm pulling on my shirt, I'm playing for Spurs, and I've got pride in my own self-belief and my own desire to win a game. But there was no desire from those players to win that game. And AC Milan were atrocious as well. They were just falling over like flies, and all that shithousery won them the match in the end. But if we gave them a match, we could have got the result easily. We could have easily beat them, but there was no desire to win that match. And it's so unsettling. All right, they might think Poch is coming, but still play for Conte. He's out on the training pitch with you. He's been your manager all year. He was your manager last year when you were 9th, and he pulled you up to the Champions League. And that's what you do for him. After that brilliant Marseille win as well, we were on a high in the Champions League. We should have taken that momentum forward. Instead, we crash out of the FA Cup, we lose to Wolves, and then we put a whimper of a performance in against. It's horrendous what we did.
But Ellie,
and the fans deserve better.
Yeah, but I know you're a Spurs, but why should it affect the players? Their job is to play for Tottenham Hotspur. Doesn't care who the manager is. Put your effort. Why won't the players do that? Explain to me why. You've been a player.
Do you know what? They've done it so many times. It's nothing new to them. They've thrown so many managers under the bus where they've downed tools. They've done it so many times. So I just think that's their mentality. They don't even love the club. To pull on that shirt and be proud to play for Spurs. We're a glorious club. You should be proud to be pulling that shirt on. You should be playing for your manager, and I don't care what excuses they bring up. When you go over that line and you're playing for your club, you've got to play. But they didn't, and it was evident. You could see it.
Yeah. I mean, Philip, you've seen a lot of Spurs, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. You've seen us go down with Ellie. You've seen us come up with Ellie. Why should players be bothered by all these rumours with Poch? And there also another come out, I think it was yesterday, that several of the Spurs players and staff have gone to Levy and gone to Poch to convince him to come back.
I
mean, where do you stand on that? Do you think it's
I think that's only a rumour. I think it's only a rumour. But I'll tell you what I do stand on. We talk about players backing the manager. If you think back, our two best performances this season were against West Ham and Chelsea. Conte wasn't in the dugout, right?
Yeah.
We beat Chelsea, and then we had the abject performance against Sheffield United 5 days later or 4 days later. Something happened, in my mind, something happened in the meantime between those two games, because you don't go from beating one of your big rivals and you should be on a high going into the next match, and you don't turn up. So I think the players have got wind that Conte is no longer staying there. Ivan Perisic thing today would tend to back that up, right? Now, as regarding should they be worried about Poch coming in, or would they want Poch coming in? You rightly say they should play for Tottenham Hotspur. That's the team that pays their wages. It doesn't matter if Jack the Ripper is in charge. They should play for the manager, whoever he is. But unfortunately, that is not the way in today's game. No. If you look back to the time Poch was sacked the first time around, if Levy had backed Poch after the Champions League final, right, instead of not backing him, Poch would probably still be at the club. And we probably won a trophy or two by then. So again, it goes back to Daniel Levy, didn't back the manager. Then the players got agitated, went to Levy and said, we've got to do something. And he panicked a bit, if you ask me, and sacked Poch, right? And the rest is history. Then he goes and sacks Mourinho 3 days before an FA Cup final or a League Cup final. It's as if, I don't know what it's like, but I mean, I think, I don't want to sound too, militant against Levy here. He's done some good things for the club, but you can trace back all the bad mistakes that Tottenham have made over the last 4 or 5 years, can all be traced back to Daniel Levy. And from that point of view, it would be great for the club if we even got an investor that would take a 30% stake and have some say in the running of the club, or he got an offer that he went all together. But the important thing to do now is get the next managerial appointment right. Now, I know I want Pochettino back at the club, not necessarily now. I don't think it's quite the right time for a number of reasons, but we'll wait and see what happens. He seems to be the bookies' favourite.
I don't want him back at the club. No.
Ever. No, he's coming back.
Hang on. You don't go back to an ex-girlfriend, or you don't go back to an ex. It's never the same the second time around.
Elizabeth Taylor did it several times with Richard Burton. No, he will be back at the club at some stage. I'm not quite sure when, but he will be. And I would welcome him back at the club. I just say I'm not convinced this is the right time for it. I'm moving towards radical appointment, someone like Luis Enrique, who plays damn good football, attacking front foot football. That's all I want. I want to go to a game where I can watch the match for 90 minutes, not hide behind my hands half the time like I was the other night.
Yeah.
Remember,
before that West Ham and Chelsea game, we beat Man City as well.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, they're noted as the best club side in the world, some have even said. And we beat them. So we've got it in us. Why did it go from that to what the shit show we're seeing now?
Exactly. Now, tomorrow is going to be a very important match. Tomorrow is going to be a catalyst to see what has happened. If the players don't respond tomorrow, then I think we can say bye-bye to Conte.
Look, I want somebody to come in to play the football we deserve to see.
Yeah.
The Tottenham way. Now it doesn't have to be Poch. I mean, I quite like the Lucas what's his name?
Luis Enrique.
Yeah, I quite like him because you look at the Spain side. He'd done a great job with that Spanish side, a good young side. Look, I want my club back. This is not my club. This is not the team I support. I said a week ago I want a total reset, and then I thought about it. Maybe after the Wolves game, I said it. You know, I was angry, and I was coming out. I stick by that now. I want a total reset at the club. Total reset. Press the big red button and start again. Look, I think Levy's not going to go. Levy's not. I just want to get this out. Levy's not going to go anywhere for a while. Till somebody comes and pays them the money that they want for them to sell the club. We have to be realistic about that. It's taken Man United fans 15, God knows how many years to get the Glazer out, and they haven't even sold yet. So it's not like Levy's going to leave overnight.
No. So
that is going to be a long term. Somebody comes in and say, "Look, here's 4.5 billion or 4 billion," then they will sell, and then Levy could stay on under the new owner to see transition. So you're not going to get rid of him as quickly as people want. Secondly, we've got to get out. The most important thing is we've got to get out these Deadwood players. Everyone's forgetting about these players. We've got 8 players coming back in the summer from loan deal. We need to get rid of them. We should have got rid of them a long time ago. Hitchin wasn't doing his job properly, and everyone's giving Hitchin a free ride here. He bought in. I know everyone's saying Paratici hasn't bought in good players. He bought in 2 players last season. What did we get? Top 4. In my book, he is a don. Hitchin got away with a hell of a lot of the shite he brought into the club. Paul Mitchell, in my right, Paul Mitchell should still be director of football. Levy pissed him off, and Paul Mitchell left. We've got to understand. These players have to take responsibility. The players who let us down time and time again have to take responsibility. Responsibility for the performances. Responsibility for letting the manager after manager after manager after manager down. Responsibility for letting us, the fans, down. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They'll play their 90 minutes, go back into their Mercedes or their Range Rovers or their Porsches or their Ferraris, go back to their big mansions, shut the door, and sit and have their whatever they're drinking with their wives or their girlfriends. They're not upset. They're not coming onto these shows like myself or other channels. Us, the fans, do. And it's about time people start realizing players have to take responsibility. Eric Dyer has to take responsibility for being a shit ass. David Sanchez has to take responsibility for being a useless article. Stop blaming. You can blame the manager, you can blame the owner, you can blame the man next door. Blame the players as well. They have to look themselves in the mirror. If they're no good, we need to ship them out and ship them out now.
That's right.
Because if we don't, if the next manager comes in and he has to use a Dyer or a Sanchez or Winks or Lo Celso, all them players are coming back, we're in a worse state than we fucking have been for ages.
Yeah.
And I am sorry, this club is going down the pan. It really is. We've got the best stadium in the world with the best training facilities with a shit football team. And we're not even a football team. Look, I agree with like the F1 and all the concerts, anything to bring extra money into the club. Then for Christ's sake, use it on the football team. Use it by decent players, back who's ever the manager to the hilt with the players he wants. Not what you want. Not what you want, not what the man next door wants, what the manager wants. Back him and let's win a fucking trophy.
That's where I've got the criticism of Paratici. Because, I'll go back to Spence and Danjuma again, right? If himself and Conte were on the same wavelength, right, we wouldn't have signed those 2 players. Now, that's the problem. Either I'm not big enough to stand up to Daniel Levy and say, listen, I don't want this guy. I don't want him. I won't play him. Why does Levy go ahead and buy them if he's against the will? I'm assuming Paratici and Conte are talking to each other. One should be giving his wishes to the other. And if Levy overrides the two of them, then we're in trouble because we're gonna keep on signing players that don't fit the squad, that don't fit the manager's requirements. Now, the one good thing about if Pochettino does come back, I think we can knock all talk of an Eric Dyer new contract on the head.
Yeah,
you would allow that.
I know, because he doesn't like Eric Dyer, which is brilliant. That's a brilliant observation there, Philip. And also, I think we'll go back to none of this wing back play through the middle, use the wings, but they're not the priority. Play creative football from the middle, like we did with Ginola and Van der Vaart and Modric and Gaza. Those are the type of players we want in our team. Players that can create and exciting to watch. Because this dead meat, they're like statues. They don't move. They're not even running off the ball properly to make space.
Would you go back to a 4-3-3 then? With a flat back four?
I would.
Yeah. But that means now we bought Porro, who's a wing back, and we've bought Destiny Adoji, who's also a wing back. Yeah. So this is where the square holes in the round pegs, or round pegs in the square holes is coming in. We go for a back four, they're not suited to the back four. So it's I don't know now.
This before. I think put Kulu in the middle. He's wasted on the wing. Because also his crosses has gone a bit pathetic lately. He's crossing.
He's
lost a yard coming from the middle and bringing the ball for us.
Well, we need someone in the middle. Nobody to create. There's no creativity in that team at all.
No.
Playing the 3-5-2.
And we've lost Benny. We've lost Bentancur, who's not a great creator, but he's a technical footballer and he can handle himself and he's good on the ball.
That's true.
And he's good off the ball as well. His movement is fantastic.
Right. So
when does he pull the plug on Conte anyway?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. And I'll start with you, Ellie. I'll have my opinion first, and I go to you, Ellie. When does he pull the plug on Conte? Tonight. Just do it now. It's like ripping the plaster off and taking your time and doing bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Just rip it off. Get rid of them and if you want to bring Poch in, get Poch in. Get something to give us a bounce. That's my opinion. If we lose against Forest, I think he'd be gone.
Look, we've gone out the FA Cup, we've gone out the Champions League, and Conte's still with us. So doesn't that tell you something? And if we lose to Forest on Saturday and he's still with us, that's a pure sign that they still want him. Because that was the manager,
or they don't want to pay the $5 million compensation
to go out the Champions League in 1 week.
If we don't, it would cost us $5 million to pay off Conte now, right? But it would cost about $150 million not to make the Champions League. So where's the economy in that?
I don't think he wants to upset the balance of the team either, because that's Conte's team. That's the way they play. If they get in a new manager now, they've got to rip up everything and start anew.
The players are objecting, if you can believe what's in the press, about his training regime. Like most clubs have a training schedule worked out a week in advance. So you know what's happening on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday. The Spurs boys come in on a Monday morning. They could be there till 6 o'clock that evening. They're not told in advance what's going on. And that's unsettling a lot of them. They're not able to plan their lives outside the game. Now, you should say, we all work 9 to 5. Why can't they? But training is normally done in the morning and they're finished up in the afternoon to be free. But Conte doesn't do that. And that's causing a bit of grief, apparently. Not only with the players, but apparently with some of the staff.
Yeah.
So, and we're probably having a word in Levy's ear about this. But you said the thing about McDermott, get rid of him now. If he was going now, he would have been gone after the Wednesday night, within 2 hours. I think Levy is giving him one more chance tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, he'll stay for the rest of the season. But if we lose tomorrow, I think the crowd reaction tomorrow night could be very, very toxic.
There'll be a lot of booing if we lose to Forest.
I want to take you up on what you're saying about the players and the training, Philip. Right? I'm
only saying what was wrong with sports in the press, though. Man.
No, I want to add something to it. So you get what I mean. I want to add to it. But wasn't it the same thing happening on the Poch, on the Jose, wasn't it the same excuses that was coming out on the Poch at the end, coming out on the Mourinho? The players didn't like the training. The training was too hard.
Mourinho didn't
like
train.
this. It's the same. It's the same recycled.
Mourinho didn't bother with training. We were the most unfit team under Mourinho. He didn't care about the training.
But the point I'm making, there were still complaints coming out about it, Philip.
Players are probably complaining about everything. They're moaners. Like in any job, people moan about their employer.
Yeah, but the point I'm making. Hang on, we're all talking over each other here. Sorry, Ellie. I'll let you go and say what you have to say. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying they're prima donnas. Get on that training pitch. If the manager tells you've got to be here by 10, arrive at 20 to 10, get your kit on, play till he says you can go home. Because if you've lost the match as well, I'll have them in for extra training to punish them.
It was the same thing on the end of Poch, the training, training's boring me. Same thing on the Mourinho. Okay, then do the training yourself then. Go and I'll give you a plan.
We were fit under Poch.
Yeah, but the point is, Philip, you're not getting what I'm trying to say. They were complaining.
Players will moan.
It's the same argument that comes out every time when there's a manager going. It's the same thing. And it's the same players leaking the same shit to the media all the time.
You don't know that, Dermot. You're surmising that.
I am surmising that. But
we don't know it's the same players. We don't know that. You know, it could be the press boys making it up. It wouldn't be the first time. You know, so you can't believe a word you hear unless from a really, really trusted source. And there's not many of them, unfortunately.
The point I'm making is the same excuse again, Philip. It's just keeps rolling out.
You go to any club, right? Every club has a fine structure where you're fined for whatever. If you're 5 minutes late for training, you find 100 quid, or if you don't have the right socks on, you find another 50 quid or something like that. That I don't know what the fine structure at Tottenham is. I get the feeling it could be quite repressive. And that's what the players don't like. Do what Juventus did. They wouldn't put Paul Pogba in the squad for the Europa League last night because he didn't turn up for training or didn't turn up for a meeting. So they dumped him out of the squad. That's what needs to be done to players that don't toe the line, that complain to the press or go off run telling tales to the manager or the chairman. There's a way of dealing with these things. And I just get the feeling that whatever way Conte's been going for the last couple of months, the players have had enough of it. And it's showing now that they're down tools.
You see, the players like the players were telling their wives or their agents or something, and one of them could say to their mates, you know, you're there to do a job. You get paid £200,000 a week, or 100 and something pounds a week, or £80,000 a week. It's more money than you, me, could make in a lifetime. And all you got to do is run around. I know it's hard. I get you. But it isn't as hard as like working on down the mines or working on the building site construction or working in a up at 4 o'clock in the morning making bread for the people for Greg's and all them shops or up at 3 in the morning doing other jobs that are taxing and manual. You know, they live a life of privilege.
Yeah.
They should be grateful for the life they have. And I agree with what you're saying, Philip. I do. I was just trying to add to it that we've heard these before and it keeps coming around again. So, look, I want to ask you two a question. I'll start with you, Philip, then I go to you, Ellie. Philip, look, if it's the same thing we're hearing again and again and again, right, where does the buck stop? Where does this revolving, it's like a revolving door. Where does it stop? How do we stop this? Because it's getting ridiculous.
Right. Well, okay. If you want to stop it completely, and there's no chance of it happening again for a while. And I'll say a while because it will creep back in again when the next manager maybe as started getting up the nose of some players. Right. I think we've got to have a complete new manager in, someone with no connections with Tottenham. That there can be no old scores to be settled, and that's okay. That's where Enrique will be my choice. He'll come in there and with a completely blank sheet. Well, Pochettino, great manager, great football. He's coming back with baggage, whatever way we look at it. And that's why I don't particularly want him back at this stage. So bring in a player that's got lay down the law from the start. You play it my way and we'll get on fine. But Poch might not have that issue, might not have the wherewithal to do that because there are going to be players who are going to have an issue with it coming back. So, again, clean sweep now, Poch maybe in 2 or 3 years' time. That's my view on it. But we'll see.
So where's Dermot gone now? He's disappeared again. Yeah.
What do you think, Ellie? What do you reckon?
My take on it, I want to keep Conte to the end of the season, and if he wants to go, he'll go anyway. So I just like his passion. I think he's a fantastic player motivator. It's just that our players, they've done it to many managers, haven't they, Philip? They've down tools on many managers. It's a set pattern as well. Like he was in Italy for a reason, wasn't he? He stayed there for a reason because he wanted to have a break from the losers that he's.
Well, I'd say that was medical now. That was a medical thing.
But the thing is, he could have still rehabilitated in England, couldn't he? But the main thing is, the point I'm getting at is that the players have let a lot of managers down, not just him.
Yeah,
right? And it's always after a big loss as well. It's like they go on a downward spiral and then the season goes to pot. But he pulled us out of the mire last season. We were ninth. He got us to fourth, right? And he's never done really well in Europe, has he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's never really done well in Europe.
One thing he might do now. Up to now, we've been playing 2 games a week. That's gone now. We're down to 1 game. And if you look back to last season, that's when we really started playing after we lost to Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, which was last week, technically in the same year. So maybe, but my worry is that we go out tomorrow, another lethargic performance against Forest, and he stays on. Then the next game, whoever that's against, is that going to be lethargic again? And we're going to keep playing the same way. We'll go down the table like a stone if we keep doing that. We've got to have, if we win tomorrow, I think he'll stay for the rest of the season because that gives a bit of a cushion in fourth. But I don't want us to go, but I want us to play the way we did this time last year, from now till the end of the season. And everyone will be happy with that. But I just fear that a loss tomorrow could be a tipping point.
Yeah, it could take us the other way and we'll slide down the table. But what I've noticed, Philip, I don't know whether you've been watching the training sessions, they're very relaxed. They're like chilled out. There's no intensity. And when they're even on the training pitch, there's no intensity there. When Ventroni was there, they were like really flat at it, and getting them fit. Now, I think the fitness levels have dropped since he's passed away, the poor man. Our fitness levels have dropped, definitely.
I'd say we're probably not quite. Well, I mean, Petroni really worked them hard,
Yeah.
Maybe we're not quite as fit, but I think the videos of the training sessions are meant to be that they're not meant to show players full pelt because they don't want to give the other clubs any idea of what our training methods are like. Like that they're not going to show their hand, but we're still a reasonably fit team, but not quite as fit as we were under Petroni. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I want to get to this comment here by from Tizel. Sorry it's taken me so long to get to it. I apologize, but we've gotten to a bit of a debate of the. He's asking Dermot. He says, "Thoughts on Balassi in and let Mad Passion Football on fire?" I wouldn't be against that. I really would not be against that. To be fair,
ask a Leeds fan. Ask a Leeds fan what they think of Bielsa.
All right, yeah.
I don't. I think Bielsa's old school. I don't think. Put it this: if they're complaining about the training methods under Conte and Poch, they'd have a fit when Bielsa came along because they'd be knackered after every. They'd be too knackered to play on a Saturday if he came along. He is ruthless when it comes to training methods.
Yeah, Ellie, what would you say?
I don't know. No, I don't. I like his style of football. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a very passionate man. He's from Argentina as well. All these Argentinians. Look, we've got one in our side called Romero. Just bang. That's how they like. They're very passionate people.
Can I just say, look what Romero did to my mug.
Yeah.
Look, he slide tackled my mug.
One thing about Bielsa there. Pochettino is a disciple of Bielsa. So if you're going to bring in Bielsa, you're bringing in the pre-version of Pochettino. Pochettino learned all he knew off from Bielsa. So which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just don't think he'd be a fit at Tottenham.
Would you bring him in? Would you bring him in with Pochettino?
I don't think that would work.
But he wouldn't want that, would he?
No,
he wouldn't want to be a number 2.
It'd be conflict of interest.
He would want to be a number 1.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Look, with Conte not look, I'm going to get his press conference up here from earlier, and it was a little bit strange by what he said. To be fair, now the first thing he was asked was Conte on the Boone substitution, Now, I'll read out the quote here, guys, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. And I'll go with you, Eddie, first, then you, Philip.
Yeah.
He said, we have 3 strikers. We can... You what, Philip?
I just have to go for 1 second. We're back in a minute.
Okay. We had 3 strikers. We continue to play with 3 strikers. We played with Romero. We played with a 3-4-3 before without 11 players. We played with 3-2-3. But if you win the game, it is because you only have strikers. We have to find in every moment to risk, but not to lose the balance. Then we had the chance. If you think that we can play with 4 strikers with a 2-2-4, and if you think so, if the counter-attack and the space, well, I think I do my job and everyone has to do their job. I think that I have a career behind me and the experience to try to make the best decision. Then I repeat, you can accept or not. The reality to risk score. And if you score 1 goal, you go into 30 minutes with 4 strikers. I understand the fans, but I am a coach and I always have to find the best solution for my team. What do you say to Conte there, Ellie?
No, do you know what I would have done? Right? I wouldn't have brought on Sanchez for starters. I would have brought on somebody who can create for us, maybe a Danjuma, because then you can put him in midfield, right? And then you can push Højbjerg and Skippy back as holders. Yeah, he could have done that. To bring on Sanchez, I don't think that gave us anything. It took away from our team.
I think bringing on Sanchez was... I booed as well when Sanchez came on.
Yeah, I was booing.
Philip, what do you think of what Conte's saying here? Basically, I'm the coach. I find the best solution for my team. I don't care if they boo. What are you reading into that?
I'm the boss. You lot can just shut up and do what I do. I'm always going to question my authority. I mean, that bringing Sanchez on, I don't know. 7 minutes to go. You need a goal. You've got Danjuma sitting on the bench, raring to get on, and he brings on the defender. It just doesn't make sense. It's just there's no logic to it whatsoever. And no matter how many angles you come at it from, there's still no logic.
No,
really.
Because he does. If it was a defender that can actually bring the ball out of defence and play a bit, fair enough, but not Sanchez, for God's sake.
And then he was asked on his future. And this is what they said now, and this is conflicting. Talk about playing my games with Levy.
It's all over the place.
This is mind games at its best. Yeah. Again, my future in this moment, the most important thing is to be focused on the league. You know what is my opinion, what is my desire. I say it to you a lot of times that the situation that I found, and we are far too aspire to be competitive, to fight to win. I repeat this for a long time. I should be doing this in an Italian accent, by the way, to get the best sort of effect from it.
I think to your Irish.
So, patience. I see the environment has no patience, or the environment does not want to see the reality. The club knows very well what is my situation. They know what are my thoughts. We can't do miracles. If I am to take the people as a target, I am not this person. The reality is this. We will see what happens in the future. I am not stupid to kill myself. Until the end, though, I am ready to die for this club. But then we will see. I'm not too stupid to keep killing myself.
So he's going to kill himself.
Are you?
Die for
so Philip. So what's he saying here then? I'm not gonna kill myself, but I want to die for this club.
Yeah, well, that's contradicting himself. That's saying one thing and then saying completely the opposite. I think it's something lost in translation. I don't think he meant to say that. I think it's more or less saying, I'm not going to kill myself, but I'll give my best for the club. But it was quite an aggressive press conference. Like he was, I think he'll probably. I don't know if you've read a bit yet about the criticizing the players, but like the bit about his future. All we want to know is, are you staying or are you going? That's all we need to know. If he'd have said today, listen, lads, I'm not going to renew my contract in June. Right, fair enough. That's it. We know now. We know what's a plan for the future. Gives us time to get the new manager sorted out. But Levy probably won't accept that, because Levy will take that as admitting defeat, that we're in a club in crisis, and It's putting Levy on the spot. Does he keep him? Does he sack him now or let him stay on until the end of the summer? So I reckon there's collusion between Levy and Conte over what's been said at these press conferences. They're deliberately saying nothing without actually saying lots without saying anything about his future.
Because the club hold his future in their hands. They've got all the power. Because
really, he can resign in the morning if he wanted to.
The thing is, yeah, he can resign. But what I'm saying, for him to that says to me that he wants to stay. That's how I read it, because he said, look, he's saying, I'm not stupid to kill myself until the end, though I'm ready to die for this club. That means that he loves being at the club. And he's basically saying that the club know that he knows the reality of our situation. But whether they know the reality, he said, we can't do miracles. If I am to take the people as a target, I'm not this person. The reality is this. Right? So he's basically saying the club are really naive.
Yeah.
They are naive if they think that this team can be competitive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bit of a dig at Daniel Levy, all right?
Yeah, look, I think it's sending out mixed messages. Look, for me, he's always been cryptic about what his future is. He needs to come out and say, look, this is my future. This is what I'm doing. Do you know, be honest with us. If you're staying, then sign the fucking contract or activate the 1-year extension you've got.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know what we can get behind.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Conte is playing a very bad mind game with Levy. It's like he's daring. Go on, I dare you to sack me. I dare you to sack me.
It's a selfish mind game as well.
It's a very selfish mind game, and I agree. Look, I understand what you're saying, Ellie, and I can see what you're saying.
I don't see it like that, though. I see it like he's telling the club that you've got to get your act together because this team is not competitive. He says it. Got to fight to win. I repeat this for a long time. He's been telling them.
Ellie,
get their act together.
Ellie, I will ask you a question then. Sign the contract.
Yeah, because he won't sign it because they haven't offered it to him, maybe.
Then resign.
But why would he resign when he wants to get top 4 for the club?
Yeah,
that's his
top 4's not cut
from now.
Top 4. If he instead of waiting to the end of the season, either go one way or another. If he wants to stick around and say, right, this is what I want, sign a contract. If he wants to play a selfish mind games, which I think he is, to be fair, then go. It's only one way or the other.
Why does he say that then, Dermot? That I am ready to die for this club.
But I'm not too stupid to keep killing myself.
Yeah, but he's back because that's lost in translation. What I think he means by that is he's not going to kill himself because these idiots who are running the club don't know how to give him what he wants.
Yeah,
to make the miracles happen. Yeah, because at the moment the miracles are not happening.
No, I just don't think Ellie. I think it's a mind game. He's daring. That for me, he's daring Levy to sack him. That's what he wants to do. Look at it on a personal point of view. This is how I'm looking at it as well. He's lost 3 of his closest friends. He's away from his family in Italy, which is hard enough. Away from your family, it's hard. Plus, he's lost his closest lieutenant and closest friend in the person that passed away during the season, Gio. And he doesn't look happy. He's been through major operation as well. The man needs time to grieve over the loss. He probably hasn't grieved over the losses he's had, and he had them in quite a short succession. So if you look at it on the personal and the mental health side of it, I can understand if he wants to leave. But if he doesn't want to leave, just tell us. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is somebody at the club or say, this is my plans for the future. I'm going to stay on next season. Then the club will come out. We have activated Conte's 1-year extension. It's down to the club to activate that, not Conte.
He has to agree to it, Dermot.
I think for what I heard, that it was down to the club they can act. Maybe so, but what I heard, they have to activate it, not him. If you know.
Well,
what
they
I mean.
won't. Well, they should have activated by now if they were going to. You know?
Ellie, you could be right, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
You know, I just
I'm not
feel
saying
like
you're
his
wrong, Ellie.
words are lost in translation because English is not his first language, is
but
it?
can you understand where I'm coming from? They need to tell us where we're going. Can
the
you
club
understand
needs
that?
to tell us.
Yeah.
He's being held by the club. He's being held by the club because they hold his future in their hands, don't they? They hold his future. They can sack him just like that.
Can I use the Manchester United example for this?
Yeah,
now, there's not quite the same thing, but a number of years ago when Alex Ferguson decided to retire, right? He made his intentions known maybe halfway through that season, maybe even earlier than that, which means the club they knew what was coming, and they could prepare for the future, right? Could something like that not happen with Spurs now? That Conte says, listen, we're not gonna renew the contract. We're going to either let him stay at the end of the season or going to renew, because the uncertainty is killing us. We need to know what is going on, what is happening. And the United was slightly different. In fact, the guy was retiring. He wasn't leaving to go to another club. But the club, there was no speculation. Will Fergie still be there next summer when it came to March or April that we're getting at the moment, you know? And I think just a little bit of clarity is needed from both sides. The fans have been kept in the dark. We're the ones that pay those boys' wages. Yet there's been no thought given to that.
No,
in my opinion. Now
no.
We're the club, but we're not being kept we're kept in the dark too much.
Yeah, Ellie, what do you say to Mia here? Says Ellie, it's been reported they haven't spoken about it yet. So if you believe that he hasn't said, "I want to sign," so let's do it. What do you say to Mia?
Because I don't think the club want to renew his contract myself. That's what I believe. Otherwise, they would have offered him a new contract. There's supposedly been a year extension been offered to him.
No, that was already built into the original contract.
Right, so he could sign that then.
Yeah, the club have to activate. It's down to the club to activate that year's contract.
So they haven't activated it yet, have they?
They can tomorrow morning. We can wake up. Yeah, we can wake up tomorrow morning and see Tottenham Hotspur have extended Antonio Conte's contract by a further year. Now, let me ask you this, Ellie. They had the World Cup to sit down with Conte to sort out a new deal with him, a new long-term deal. They had 4 weeks. Why didn't they?
I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe they just don't see. They just saw him as a stopgap, and Poch is the one that they want.
Yeah, but the board are split on Poch, though. There's some of the board Levy and some of the board want Poch. The other half don't want Poch.
Paratici doesn't want Poch.
No,
because he plays a back four.
The thing is, he'll go if Conte goes. He'll go.
Can I ask all the people in the chat one question? Do you want another 12 months or more of Conte brand football?
I'm actually going to put that as a poll.
If you did that as a poll, I'll be.
Do we want to watch that for another 12 months, or do we go and take up 10-pin bowling on a Saturday?
Yeah, but the thing is, if he gets the players that he wants, we won't be seeing that type of football. Because you'll have better players who move off the ball and play his system better. So you'll see more exciting
he's not going to get those players. If Levy hasn't backed him in the past, why will he start now?
That's what I'm saying. If he is back, which we know he's not going to get backed, is he? So what's the point of bringing in a new manager if he's not going to get backed either?
But
we're just going to see a different style of football that may win us something, but we haven't won anything for 14, 15 years now. It's been.
I just be interested to see what the paying public, the people that pay their 50 and 60 quid a game, want to put up with. Will they continue paying that sort of money if we're served up the type of dross that we've seen in the last 3 matches?
Now, I reckon if it's not in the Forest, there's going to be a lot of empty spaces.
Yeah, but they're already paid for, so he's got the revenue.
Yeah, I just put that poll into the chat now. Do you want 1 more year of Conte's football? Now, I did a poll on Twitter last night. Ellie actually mentioned it to me, and Ellie, I have sent you the password today for I'd sent that for you when I spoke to you this afternoon. And I asked, do you want Conte to stay or resign? Now, do you want Conte to stay on as Spurs manager or resign now? 83.6% said they wanted him to resign now. 16 point something percent wanted him to stay. Now that was out of 30 votes out of a 3-hour poll.
Yeah. But Dermot, can I reverse that round? If you'd have asked that question after the Manchester City or Chelsea match, it probably would have been a lot closer. It's the last 3 matches that are causing a lot of people to think like that.
Well, Philip, the votes are flying in. We're up to 9 votes at the moment. 67% say no. 30% say yes. Do you want 1 year more of Conte football? At the moment, 70% say no. We're going to leave that running to the end of the show. Listen, guys, quickly before we get back onto Conte and the Poch, the return of the Poch, I quite like that. The return of the Mac. This could be the team that starts tomorrow's game. I want just a quick thoughts on it. Ellie, what's your thoughts on that team?
I like it. Very attack-minded. You've got Richarlison, whose only idea is to go forward. Danjuma, Porro, be speeding up. Romero will be coming out of defence. Longley will be coming out of defence. Davis, if he plays like he did against Man City, yes, very good. I just hope he can put that performance in again. So I like that. That's a very attack-minded team, especially little Porro. I was very impressed with him, the way he came on and made an impression. Yeah, I like that team.
Yeah, Philip?
Yeah, I can't see Danjuma starting, basically, after what Conte said about him today. I would like to see him starting, but I think he'll go again. He'll probably leave Son out because, I mean, poor Son, he was so ineffective against AC. I would say Kulichevsky will get another chance. But I would like to see Richarlison. It wouldn't surprise me if, he didn't seem to be too fussed about what Richarlison said about him today. You've got one very frustrated player there. I mean, to be told you're playing in a match on Tuesday and then told you're not playing on Wednesday, that is a hammer blow to any player. That is really bad. That can dent his morale. And look, I think Ricky's tough enough to take it. But I think that was a bad decision by Conte too. We could have done with him for that game, really. For his aggression and his physicality, But yeah, I hope he starts tomorrow. And I hope he gets his goal because that's all he needs is a goal in the Premiership to send him off. Because he is a good striker. But I can't see Danjuma starting. The rest of the team, probably. Because I think Emerson has got a slight injury. He might not be ready.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that. Right? Because Elias has joined us. Pick up, Elias. Hope you're doing well.
He's blaming the fans again, is he?
Yeah, and this is what he said. Now, I'm going to have my response to it. And then, sorry. There you go. Ellie's the queen that's holding us up. Ellie's the queen. I don't put Ellie down the bottom.
I like being under my men.
See? Ellie, that's for the late night show.
Wait for the Italian video. That'll surprise people.
I watched it. I was very surprised. I was surprised you came to the match, actually, Ellie. I thought you might have been in the Milan end. Elias, right, I'm going to read this out. And people, please look, Elias has different opinions to us. If you don't agree with what he says, be respectful. That's all I will say. Okay? We have to be respectful. Anyone has different opinions in the thing. Elias, what the fuck are you on about? Seriously. This fan base is lazy. Right, now let me state. I've been a fan for 42 years. Ellie's been a fan for 40-something years. Philip's been a fan for 50-something years.
150 years.
Right. Respectable. What the hell gives you the right to come in and say the fan base is lazy because getting manager sacked is an easy option rather than going all out and putting pressure on mindset?
What's mindset?
Hang on. What the hell do you think? We've all been fans longer than you've been in nappies, to be fair. You come in here and say it's the fan base's fault. I've never heard so much dribble in all my life. Next door's 4-year-old kid probably talk more sense. How is it our fault? Is it our fault that the players don't play well? No. You're talking trash, man. Ellie and Philip, do you want to?
I've never seen a fan base sack a manager.
No.
Basically, what he's saying there, fans, Levy never ever sacked the manager because of the pressure put on him by the fan base, right? And this thing about accusing the fans, it's a lazy way. You're the one that's been lazy, Elias. It's an easy way out. Accept the responsibility. It is the board and the chairman's fault, right, for not backing the manager, right? It's the manager's fault for not committing his future to Tottenham. To blame the fan base is totally irresponsible. You can say you're entitled to your opinion. If your opinion is wacko as that, then go on to the right-wing conspiracy channels. They love you over there.
I'm sorry.
He's on a wind-up.
I don't care, Ellie. I don't care if he's on a wind-up.
Oh, no, he's on a wind-up.
I am sick to death of people blaming the fans. It's the fans' fault. Is it the fans' fault that Dyer uses the wrong toilet paper when he has a shit? Is it the fans' fault then?
We go every week. We're paying 60, 70, 80 quid to go and watch our team play. We've got a right to our say. We've got a right to, want better from our club. And we've got a right to voice our opinion.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I agree with you, Ellie. But that's just I just wonder if Elias has been at the brandy. I mean, I would get that. I expect that from some... blame the fans. Mia's response. I've got to bring up Mia's response. You know what Mia's like.
Yeah.
Well, that's Mia's response. Elias, who the hell are you to tell me? I wish Mia would come on and just give it straight.
Come on. It's blah, blah.
I'm sick to death, guys, of people blaming the fans. I am sick to death of it. How about, Elias, blame... Right, where is that comment gone now?
A lot of people say it's the fan. A lot of people are saying it's the fans' fault. Well, what can we do? We can protest, right, to get a manager out or get Levy out. He's not going anywhere.
Right? Was it the fans' fault? Was it the fans' fault that Ivan Scholar nearly bankrupted the club? No. Was it the fans' fault that Paul Gascoigne twisted his knee in the 1991 FA Cup final? No. Was it the fans' fault that Ozzy Ardiles wanted to play about 25 players up front and no defence? No. Without the fans, there's no club, Alliance. You seem to forget that. If we didn't turn up, there'd be no Tottenham Hotspur, and you'd be supporting Liverpool and Man United. I've been a fan for a very, very long time. So is Philip, so is Ellie. We have a right to our opinion. So do you have a right to your opinion. But we've seen it all. I've seen us win trophies. We all have. Philip and Ellie saw us go down and go back up.
Yeah. Bring up Paul's comment now.
Paul's got a very good comment coming up here.
Got a really good comment here.
Paul Bailey. Paul. Here we go. Yeah. Elias, how are you going to get more people to oppress by criticising them? The Eat It Out movement is a failure because they're just bullies and crybabies. 100 protesters, failures. Spot on, Paul. You look at the Man United, right? You look at Manchester United when they got the Glazers out. Do you know, he's telling people, big up, Paul, though. Big up. Well said, sir. You got Elias saying to, what was I going to say? I want to get this right. Philip, just what do you think to Paul's comment? I need to get this right in my head.
Yeah, okay, I think he's maybe underestimating the amount of people at the protest. But when you think about it too, though, the Glazer protest hasn't been successful yet. I know it's an awful lot more vociferous, a lot more in numbers, but Man United are still owned by the Glazers. So that one's still a work in progress, if you like, But you're right about it's criticising the fans. He's not going to get them on the side of wanting Levy out, So I think Elias, I don't know why you're coming out with these comments. Really, is it just for attention, or are you just trying to stir things up?
I know why he is. I'll tell you off. I tell you in the.
He's hanging around with the wrong people. They're
Ellie.
Come on, Elias, you're getting brainwashed.
Yeah, Ellie. We'll talk about it off screen. I know what you're saying, though. I do agree what you're saying, but I'll explain. No, we didn't block Paul. Paul, why did you block me? Okay. Tequila. Right. Then he says, fans are the club. I agree with you, Dermot. Oh, Lord Jesus, you're such an easy person to turncoat. That is why we need to dedicate ambitions of this club and not on Labour. Right. So you're telling me I live in Ireland, right? Me and Philip live in Ireland. Okay. And you saying that it's our fault because we're not at the protest. We live in Ireland, for Christ's sake. It costs us money to fly over. Money we don't have. My one trip to Tottenham was Wednesday. That's my trip to Spurs. And I wanted to go over and enjoy myself. Can you see the likes of me and Philip going to the protest? We won't be bothered. We want to go and watch the football. Watch my team play, who I've supported since I was 1 year old, when I was in my mammy's study. Ellie is Tottenham through and through. Philip is Tottenham through and through. They're both Spurs legends, the pair of them. And you saying you're criticising the fans, you're criticising Philip Brady and Ellie, the longest serving Spurs fans, and like Wilton McDonald, another long fan. Mia, Clark Simpson, United Spurs of America, Tequila, Daniela, other people in the chat. And you can come in here and say it's our fault. It's not our fault. You support the team through thick and thin. We've had owners before. Ellie and Philip will tell you about the scholar years. So can I. The sugar years. Somebody had a woohoo. Was that Angie?
Angela, yeah.
She's probably agreeing with what I'm saying.
Yeah, woo!
Lies, I hope you never have to wake up in the morning wondering if your club is still in existence. Like we had to do in 1991.
I went to bed. Yeah, I went to bed crying because I wouldn't have a football club to support in the morning at 13 or 14 years of age.
Yeah. That's it. We're so close to Midland Bank pulling the plug.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to thank Alan Sugar it didn't happen, but we came out saying within 24 hours of going out of business. That's how close it was.
Right, yeah. Ellie, look, I want your opinion. Honest opinion, hand on heart.
Yeah.
Are you sick of this bullshit that comes out? It's the fans' fault.
Yes, I am. Because us fans, we are the club. You're right in that respect, Elias. We are the club, but we want to make our club. We want to make them realise that we're not accepting this. Yes, but there's a way to do it. You know, you can't just go out on protests. It's not working anyway. You're not going to get these multi-billionaires out. The way you do it is by not going to the matches and withdrawing your money. Because if they don't make money, they go out of existence, don't they? But the thing is, we enjoy going to the ground, watching our team play when we're playing good football. But at the moment, we're playing shit football. So we're paying all that money to watch all the shit football. It's not right. So what can we do? We can protest to get them out. But if they're not going to go. They're not going to go.
No.
They've got the power.
I've been told off by the chat by not looking after the chat. I got so passionate about the blaming the fans. The chat, Jacob's been doing the job for me. Cheers, Jacob. Yeah. I'm going to put you as a moderator.
Yeah.
Look, let's go back. Let's stop talking about fucking Elias and his wacko.
I don't blame myself for what the club are doing.
Right. My thought on the team. They should have started that team on Wednesday, in my opinion. I would have started that team on Wednesday.
Because Dyer was suspended.
Yeah, but apart from Dyer
and Kulu, I still would have played Kulu.
You two. I said I wanted Danjuma to start first on Wednesday. I both said that to the barrier. I wanted, and I know Jack wanted Richarlison to start. But look,
and he was overlooked as well, wasn't he?
If you are
game against them,
if you are enjoying this content, please get your pick up a membership on the way up. Please like and subscribe. It's only $2.99 or $4.99. If you want to jump ahead of the queue and you want to ask Queen Ellie a question or the Godfather himself a question, you can make it super chat. It does help the channel, helps us grow, and it helps us get new equipment or better graphics and stuff. It does help. So please, if you can, I know times are tough out there. We will bring every comment up that comes in. We will debate it. But if you can, it's, it does help the channel. Elias is still going at it anyway, so I'll leave him to it. Anyway, so that's my team. Right, guys, we're nearing the end of the show now. And I will got one more question for you. It's about, if not Poch, then who? Now, we'll go through this. Then I've got 2 questions that Ellie done for me, which I'm leaving them 2 for the last, Ellie, because there's one of them is going to be a spicy one.
Yeah.
So, if not Poch, who would you like to see take over? Now, I've got a few here. We've got Tuchel, we've got Thomas Frank, we've got Brendan Rodgers, we have the Bayern Munich manager, and then the other 2, we've got the Brighton manager, the Celtic manager, which William Kelly's been talking about for a long time, and I sort of can see what he's saying. We've got the PSG manager, we've got the Juventus manager, Vincent Kompany, and then Harry Potter and his manager's wand. So, guys, Ellie, I'll start with you. Okay, Philip, I'll start with you then. So you're about to speak. Who do you want to come in if not for Poch?
I think there's a few on that list which you can mark as untouchable. I can't see PSG, Bayern Munich, or any of those guys coming to us. And Brendan Rodgers definitely don't want. Thomas Tuchel, even though he says he's a Spurs fan, he seems to be unconvinced. He's probably unconvinced by whether he'll be backed or not. That's probably why he's not thinking of it. And over the last 24 hours, my vote, if you like, if it's not Pochettino, is going to Luis Enrique, the ex-Spanish manager, the ex-Barcelona player, because that's a guy that knows how to play attacking football. And basically, that's what we want. We want attacking football, possession-based football. We don't want a manager that comes in and plays that gets us 40% possession in a home match. That's not good enough. That's not the Tottenham way. So I'm putting my ball in Enrique's court. And the thing about Enrique is there's no buyout clause. It doesn't have to be bought from any other club. He's a free agent at the moment, which will be another positive in Levy and Conte, Levy's eyes. Like Pochettino, he's a free agent at the moment. So my vote is to Spain.
Right, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works now, and I actually like Vincent Kompany. I think he's transformed Burnley, made them into a footballing side. I saw them batter QPR 3-0, my husband's team, at QPR's ground. They absolutely played them off the park, and they play on the front foot. Their attacking style. He knows how to win, the man. He's a born winner. He's won 4 championships with Manchester City. He knows what the winning mentality requires, and he's a very, very demanding footballer as well. Manager. You know, when I saw him in his first press conference as well, very impressive. I like what he's all about, and he's a very strong looking man. You know, you wouldn't mess with him, right? And I like the way he plays football. Have you watched Burnley? You watch Burnley how they play. They don't play anything like Burnley have played for years and years and years. He's completely transformed them. I'd love him. If not him, my second choice would be Thomas Tuchel. Just for the bare fact that he's a disciplinarian, he trains people hard, and he's got a winning mentality as well.
Yeah.
He's won in the Champions League, hasn't he?
Yeah. He has. I just want to welcome a few new people in the chat. Tony Young, big up, sir. Never seen you before. Welcome to the channel.
Tony.
Chris, our man that took us around town on Tuesday. Big up, Chris. I hope you get back to Newcastle. All right. Big up, sir. It was great to see you on Tuesday. It really was. I think Elias has gone to sleep. And it's too many in the chat. David Clark. Where did David Clark?
He's there.
I like this one. Look, you better take Rodgers off that list unless you want to sub strikers come on after 88 minutes. Yeah. David, I agree. I agree with you. Do not want in there.
That's quick. He did 93 minutes to be more like it.
Tequila, big up Tequila. And just because you have a great player, it don't mean you're going to be a great coach. He hasn't learned his trade yet. Yeah, I agree with you as well.
That's probably going against Company. Company will be a great manager, I've no doubt. He might just be a little bit early in his apprenticeship to come to a Premiership club just now, But he's a good choice. Very good choice.
I just think he's done a fabulous job at Burnley.
There's a big difference in the Championship side and coming to the Premiership. Huge difference.
Can I just say, I love this man's name and his photo on YouTube. I think it's fucking cool. Just wants me to go and sit back and chill out. It looks Born to Lose 73. Big up, sir. I haven't seen you before, but welcome to the show. I hope you enjoying the content. The acid test for Company will be how he does in the Prem. If he does well, he won't be at Burnley very long. And I think that is very true.
That's true. That's what I'm saying.
It's a bit soon for the Tom. That's why a bit soon for Tom.
Yeah. Now, the Phillips question he's at, look, we're at 30 likes. Okay. I want to get up to 40 likes by the end of the show.
Come on,
we're going to go for another 10 minutes if that's okay with everyone.
Yes.
If we get up to 40 likes, okay. If you get up to 40 likes, I'll think of something and let you know. Right.
You give them your broken Romero cup.
No, hang on.
You're still trying to get rid of that Arsenal season ticket.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, Mia. Look, who's that now, Mia? Hang on, Mia.
Don't get Mia too excited now. Come on.
Getting excited.
She's going to stay there now. She'll be winging her way to Ireland.
Tequila Lights 31 now. Just smash it like Romero smashes a bone.
Oh no!
What do we call?
Dermot's mug.
What do we say, Philip? When Romero, we say he's been tangoed.
He's been Romero. Yeah, he's been tangoed.
He's been Romero.
Look. For my opinion, look, there's one manager I would like at Tottenham, and I'll bring his name up now.
I know who you want.
Who? Go have a guess.
Thomas Frank.
No. I love the way Brighton play football. I love the way Brighton play football. I think, but Frank could be like another Graham Potter. I think it'd be too big of a club for him. I think this man would be a good manager at Tottenham.
Yeah, but they're still below us.
Yeah, but
so
I like
football, and he's exciting football. They're still below us.
They're not far behind us in the league, Ellie.
No, they're not, but they're still below us.
But guys, have you enjoyed watching Brighton this season? I'll start with you, Philip.
Yeah, they have been very good. It's been a revelation, really. I mean, they certainly play football the way Tottenham fans would like us to play. They really do, And he's an experienced manager. Okay, I know it's his first season in the Premiership. He's hit the ground running. It's taken him. Yeah. Oh, poor old Chris! End up in Sunderland.
Chris, I hope you get back, man. At least you've seen the funny side of it, brother. Listen, I hope you're all right, Chris. And it was great seeing you, brother. And we'll see you on this channel very soon. Chris is our Roving Newcastle reporter up in Newcastle. Big up, Chris. And Tony Young's here, guys. Michael Carrick.
Yeah, he's done well at Middlesbrough, right? But again, I don't see him. The experience factor. I don't see Levy taking a chance on a guy that's only been in management half an hour. Really, it's his first club, I think. So it's a bit quick. Like Company, he will be a good manager. That's Brighton lad. The Brighton lad is proven, but he may not have enough Premier League experience. You remember Conte came to us with experience in the Premiership. So did Nuno. So did Poch. That's a kind of a trend. So, okay, Luis Enrique will be a total change of policy if he did go for him. But the guy is a proven international manager, which should make up for it,
Yeah.
We could be talking conjecture. There might be nothing happening for the next 4 months.
Yeah. Ellie?
Well, they say Carrick learned of Ferguson. The Company learned of
Guardiola.
I forgot his name for a minute. Yeah, so they're still young. I agree with you. They're still learning. The crunch of it is when they're going to get into the Premiership, because both of them are going to get promoted. That's 100% certain. They're coming up, both those teams.
There is one connection though. It's Yaya Toure on the coaching staff at Tottenham, and he would have played the Company at City. So,
hope he doesn't poach him off us.
Mia. if you haven't seen my WhatsApp, yes, you can. You can. And also this, Tequila, don't ever call me a troll again. I was about to sleep, then somebody texted me. Look, I don't think anyone's called you a troll, Elias.
Nobody on here has, anyway.
No one here has. And I've looked through the messages and I don't see Tequila calling you a troll. If you can send me the message, please, what was sent to you. We will look through, but I don't think Tequila has. Tequila's always been respectful in this chat. He's also shown respect to everyone's come into the chat. So if he has, please let me know. Please do not just come in with something without either texting myself, Philip, or Ellie, or Mia, and then we will deal with it off screen. Don't just come on and accuse somebody without showing any proof, please. THFC, yes to what? You said, can you come on? I said, yes. I will pay you in chocolates and I will show you the Romero mug. I promise. Right. Hasn't the ex-Spurs player just got the sack as a coach?
Yeah, Scott Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my second time this season.
Yeah. Kiddie corner time, Carlson stitches rolling over on the floor. Hello.
There she is.
Good evening.
Hello. Would you like to see Romero again? Hang on. Here he is. There he is.
He's such a lovely looking guy.
What did he want for my freaking mug, though?
Yeah, you got Romero, didn't you? You got all like excited because it's Romero on the cup, so you thought you'd smash like he does.
Yeah.
No,
and Mia, sorry.
The pilot of the plane was an Arsenal fan, Dermot. Go on, admit it.
It was.
If you're getting Romero, I'm getting my Hoybier out.
Oh, sorry.
All right, we're going to pay for that and get Mark Shivers out.
Oh, here.
Here, Ellie, look what I've got behind me.
Yeah, you got your Hoybier shirt.
Yeah, and thank you very much for getting me that, Ellie. That was so kind of you, and I really appreciate it. Right, Mia, we're only going for another 5 minutes or so. Who do you want, if Poch doesn't come in, if you can't get Poch, who do you want to be the next manager at Tottenham Hotspur?
I'm really undecided because the ones that we're looking at, like say like a Thomas Frank, is probably like you were saying, hasn't had much experience yet. And I think we don't want somebody who's inexperienced. It's really hard because you want them to be like maybe like see like what we did with Poch. We need someone who's been in the Prem and experienced the Premier League, who's experienced enough, you know. And probably your choice of De Zerbi isn't a bad one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, guys, one question. We've got to talk about this while Mia's on. Really, we have to. It'd be disrespectful, didn't it? And then, Ellie, your questions to end off the show. I left it because it's a good talking point.
Yeah.
And what you said. And we'll let you get first choices on that. It feels weird to be down the bottom here, but it's quite nice.
Well, it's made the national press so many times.
Yeah, we know what Jermaine Defoe's been up to. I've been reading about his private life on the following them a little bit. Mia, and then I go to Philip, and then you, Ellie. Sorry, I hope that's okay. Romero got sent off at the game on Wednesday. He didn't just take out the man. I think he sent him to the moon for that tackle. I mean, it was horrendous. Where do you think? What does Romero need to calm down, or do you love him how he is? Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Mia, please keep it clean and keep it. Try to keep it on the straight and narrow. No dog collars and no latex or PVC. Just keep it normal, please.
Okay. I was going to suggest massaging to calm him down, but we won't go there.
I could join you.
We're already gone there.
I'll join you in that. I'll join you in that relaxing room.
There is a funny story on Tuesday. I've got to tell this. I had Mia on loudspeaker with Ellie. And we were talking about Romero and what's his name, the goalkeeper,
Gazzaniga.
Yeah. You want to hear these two talking? If we ever did a late show, right? It would be. I just leave them to it. Me and Philip can go down the pub and have a pint. It would just be all about. It went so sideways on loudspeaker, and I'm thinking, Mia, can you keep it clean here? You're on loudspeaker. And she just kept going. Anyway, Mia, what do you do to calm Romero down?
Well, what I would do personally is something completely different. However, we're going to keep it clean. I think he definitely does need to calm down and get that out of his game. He is still young, so he's still got time to learn that, but he really does need to control himself a bit better. But I think he just wants to be passionate. I think he was trying to be a bit passionate and it just went too far, but he needs to like cool himself off a little bit sometimes, you know, like he does need to cool his jets because it's silly and it can cost us and we don't want that to happen, Joe. So like he needs to calm it down a little bit and like sort of be a bit more level headed. He can be aggressive, but he just has to time it right. He has to stay on his feet. He can't keep going to ground and sliding like that. You know, it's just not sensible. So yeah, no, he definitely does need to calm down a little bit.
Philip, I've just sent you something. Can you look at it and just let me know what you want to do? Okay. Ellie, does Christian Romero need to calm down?
I agree with Mia as well. He's got to calm down. But you know what? That game, there was so much shithousery from AC Milan. Do you know? I don't condone what he did, but I can understand it because he was so frustrated. They were just falling over like flies. He thought, right, I'm going to take one of you out, little bastards. I'm going to take one of you out. And if I get sent off, I get sent off. But he has to calm down because sometimes you'll get that in football where the other team play dirty tactics. They did. They were like falling over all the time and when they're not even getting touched. Right, and there was one tackle that they did on him, and it really upset him. I could see it in his face. You knew he was going to get that red card. I knew it because he was so incensed the way they were handling him, and looking at the other players as well, getting chopped down. You know, I know. He had that rage in him, and he just went full pelt for that tackle.
David Clark says Royal needs to carry a taser when Romero sees a miss. Royal needs to taser the clown. He's not a clown. I'm not going to let Mia actually respond.
Don't give Mia the taser. She might use it for something else.
You said it yourself earlier about the Italians cheating and what you thought of it.
Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah, go on.
No, go on. You finish it off.
Do you think we should leave Romero how he is? Love him or hate him, he is what he is. If you temper his aggression, are you going to take something away from his game?
Yeah, I think the only thing Romero needs to do is fine tune his game decision, when to make a tackle and when not to make a tackle. You know, I don't want him to lose any of his aggression because I just love the aggression that he shows. He's the only player in our team that really shows aggression, and we can't lose that. You know, real aggression. I mean, the guy, I'd say he probably has a feed of raw meat before he goes out on the pitch. You know, you probably show him a picture of the opposition centre forward, point as his kill. You know, and he'll go and do it. But the tackle now, I'm going to defend him slightly for the tackle was completely out of order, right? But he had to do something because your man was away down the wing and on his own if he got past him. So he probably took one for the team there. He may not have normally made. He probably saw the danger and just took him out. Because AC could have scored from that move if he hadn't done what he did. Tackle was a bit rash and deserved a red card. Probably deserved a straight red, never mind a second yellow. But no, I want to keep his aggression, but just maybe to fine tune his tackling and his timing a little bit more. But and also what I want him to keep doing is kicking Royal up the ass when he scores a goal. I love that celebration he has when we score. You know, it's totally. I've never seen anyone else do that. So he's a bit of a one-off. So I keep him more or less the way he is, just a little bit. Cool it a little bit, but not too much.
Look, we all agree.
Me and David are going to fall out if he keeps saying things about Romero. He's young, man. He's young, so you've got to give him that. He's got to learn a lot. Centre backs are in their prime when they're a little bit older because they've got that more sensible. You know, they understand more. Where Romero is still quite young. You know, like allow him because I'm not happy. Don't be saying things about my Romero. I will come hard for you.
Guys, Graham Roberts, Steve Perryman in that team, they would have told them a few home truths Wednesday night. I tell you
Absolutely.
that.
He's the nearest thing we've had to those players since he came.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Right, Ellie, you've done us two very lovely questions. I think one of them I'll leave for tomorrow if that's okay. But this is the one I wanted you because it's very. I think you're very passionate about this one. So I'll start with you and then I'll go around the crowd. As recently highlighted, there's only been one black manager in the Premiership, which, if I was to say something there, is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. But it is a disgrace, and that's pure simple. There should be more in the Prem. Do you feel we should give our legend striker Jermaine Defoe a chance, as he's done so well with our under 18s, leading them to a semi-final of the Cup? Ellie, I want to start this question with you. Jermaine Defoe, would you bring him up? Instead of making him manager, would you bring him up the club through the coaching stuff? I don't think he's got all these badges. So would you bring him up gently? Why do you want him as our next Spurs manager? If that's what you're saying.
I think he deserves a chance because, first of all, he's a fan favourite. Everybody loves Jermaine Defoe. They sing his name. As soon as they see him, they love the man. And he's passionate about our club as well. Now, I think he came back 3 times, I think, if I'm right. Yeah, so he loves our club. And you need somebody who actually knows what we're all about. And Jermaine Defoe knows what we're all about. He knows what type of football we should be playing. And he'll get us playing that type of football. You know, maybe it's a bit early. Maybe it's a bit early in his career. Maybe we should go for more experience and bring him in as an assistant, you know, or someone, maybe stay with the under 18s for now, but bring him in as an assistant later on and then give him the full manager's job because he deserves it. I think he's like a Mr. Tottenham Hotspur. He loves the club. You know, when he speaks with Paul at half time, he's such a passionate man for our club, you know, and the fans adore him, you know, and I just feel the black question, there should be more black managers because there's some talented black footballers who can give so much to our game. And it's such a shame that they're not getting the opportunities. And I saw Vieira talking about it on national TV. And it really did hit hard and true to my heart that there should be more because they deserve a chance. Someone like Ledley King, even, that Tony Young said, what a fabulous footballer he was. Mr. Tottenham Hotspur again. You imagine him and Jermaine Defoe. They'll be fabulous for our club.
Ellie, I think there's only one Mr. Tottenham Hotspur, and that's Mr. Steve Perryman. All the rest of the legends, the players.
Not going to give him the job again, are they?
No, but the point is, Ellie, for me, there's only one Mr. Tottenham Hotspur, and that's Mr. Steve Perryman, our record appearance holder. Ledley King is a legend. Jermaine Defoe is a Spurs.
They love our club. That's what I was trying to say.
But for me, there's only one Mr. Tottenham, and that's Mr. CVP. And Ellie would totally agree with me on that.
I do.
Ellie makes a very good point, Philip, that there's only one black manager in the Premiership, and it is a disgrace to see. Now, Ellie's very passionate about Jermaine Defoe. Where do you stand in it? Do you think, as somebody was saying here, Carl Simpson, no to Defoe, he needs to be in with the first team. He's not ready with what he needs. Or do you agree with Ellie, like Graham Souness? His first job was with Rangers, and I know it's different circumstances, but he never had any managerial experiences, and he was success up there. So is maybe Ellie's right? Give Jermaine Defoe a go.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, Ellie, I'm going to disagree with you here. We don't need that. Would be a sentimental appointment, and we don't need a sentimental appointment. Plus, Graham Souness had got his coaching badges before he went to Rangers. Jermaine Defoe is only at the very start of his coaching career, at the bottom of the ladder. And to ask him to take over the first team now will be a disaster. As much for him, it will ruin his confidence. He just hasn't got the experience for it. And that's not to say in 5-10 years' time he might be there. He might be qualified enough and have experience to do it. But while I love Defoe as a player, I don't think the fans would be too happy to seeing a novice coming in and taking over the club. It'd be a bit like Ozzy Ardiles. brilliant to have an ex-player coming back, but look how that worked out. That was the start of Ozzy's career as well, I think. But like, I take a sentiment. I mean, the fact that there's only one black manager is a total disgrace. But I think Jermaine Defoe has got a lot of hard work to do. Look at Ryan Mason. Now, how long has he with Spurs since he came back from his 80s? 3 years, I think he's been with us. He's only just got his UEFA badges now, right? So that's at least 3 years' work ahead of Jermaine Defoe before he even gets the qualifications to become a Premiership manager. So let him work through the reserve, let him work through the academy, and work with Yaya Toure, and get experience, get his coaching badges, and who knows, opportunity might knock for him in the future, but it's too early for him now. It really is. No, we gone. Dermot's gone again, is he?
Dermot's gone. He's gone to answer the door again.
Yeah, I think it's too early. As much as you can say, it would be great, and I completely agree with you that there's not enough managers in the Prem that are, black or any different race. If I'm honest, it doesn't necessarily have to be, it's any mix of any race could be a Premier League manager, and they should be, but they should do it on merit if they're good enough. They shouldn't just do it because, do you know what I mean? Like we have to be like, because Defoe, he wouldn't be ready, and it'd be silly to appoint him when he's not ready, because if he fails, that's not very good on him like personally, so he has to go and obviously do something a bit more, maybe somewhere else, to then come back. I think experience is key.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Glenn Hoddle with the youngster?
No, Glenn's already been here. I think.
No,
he's been out of management too long.
Yeah.
It's different if he's managing clubs all since. How long has he had the management? 10 years or more?
Yeah. Wilt McDonald says, I agree with Dermot. Mr. Tottenham is Steve Perryman. The others are legends. I tell you, if there was a parade for Steve Perryman, Ellie will be the first one in that parade.
Yeah, because I love Steve Perryman. He's my idol.
I know. I am trying to get him on again, but I need to message him again, actually, see if we can get him. Do you think if we get him on for the third time, we can keep him? It's like you keep the
we're going to keep him. He can come and live with me.
Paul's going for Steve and Ozzy. We'll help out by sugar. Please bring Ozzy back. Please, I loved Ozzy's years. A lot of players were wealthy. Yeah, that's true. I'm just going through these. Born to lose 73. The way it's going to focus soon be Mason's number 2 for Guest on by Forest.
I like Born to Lose. He's a funny geezer.
Do you know what? I love this chat because they are funny. Carl Simpson saying So Campbell's. Could you imagine Campbell being a...
If you heard the songs we were singing about Sol Campbell on Wednesday night, they wouldn't say that.
I was shocked by that.
Some of the stuff they were singing, you couldn't repeat it. It was that bad, really.
No, it was embarrassing.
That's the norm. That's the norm, though.
We have
that was in the bar. That was in the bar after the match. It wasn't before the match, during it.
Aussie 12, never seen you before. Say big up, welcome to the channel. It says had to sub to say Defoe is very elegant, especially for a footballer, good intelligence. So why not, Ellie? You have a supporter for your Defoe in for manager job.
The thing is, we need somebody who knows the Tottenham way of football. Somebody who's going to play on the front foot. You can bring in an experienced manager, but they're failing us. We've had Jose. He got us to a final, though, but they bloody sacked him, didn't they?
Sorry, Ellie, go on. Let finish. Go on.
I was just going to say that there's value in having somebody who's homegrown or somebody who knows the Tottenham way, how we want to play. Maybe it's too early, though. Maybe in a few more years, give him a bit more time.
How about having Glenn Owen there? See, I agree with Tony Young. Hoddle still knows the game. When you listen to Glenn Hoddle, he's very good how he speaks about the game. Would you have him in there, Philip, as a sort of like a coach, or not as a manager, but to help a younger manager out, like an assistant?
No. We need someone who's currently either in the job or just out of the job. I know he's still a good talker on TV. It's easy to talk a game. It's easy to talk tactics. But when you're in the dugout during a game, and I always remember the time when Lucas Moura scored the winning goal in Amsterdam in the semi-final, and I think it was Gary Lineker, Rio Ferdinand, and Glenn Hoddle up in the box. And the first thing they said to Glenn Hoddle, "Is your heart okay?" So he's got a heart issue. I don't think that anyone with a heart condition should not be a football manager, because
anyone should.
Yeah, but he is an experienced manager as well.
Yeah,
he's been out the game. He's been out of the game a little bit too long.
Yeah, and things move on.
Everyone should watch the documentary on Glenn Hoddle and what happened that day. I tell you, it's very. Guys, look, we're going to end. Tony Young said Klinsmann. Paul Bately says the Celtic manager. I agree with that.
That's interesting.
Mia,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, Mia. I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much of Australian football, Scottish football you watch, but would you have the Celtic manager in? He's playing great. He's doing great stuff for Celtic at the moment.
Yeah, I heard this. I don't watch it, but I do follow it a bit because my dad's friend was Celtic. So I went to Scotland when I was a kid, and I always said if any team in Scotland I liked, it's Celtic. So yeah, no, he's doing good. Again, coming from Celtic to the Prem, though, I don't know. Like, I think it's difficult, isn't it? I think that maybe he needs a job before a Tottenham job before he comes to a team like Tottenham. You need sometimes an in-between job to get that experience. But yeah,
Scott, 2-horse race every season.
That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, I watch a lot of Celtic, and they do play some great football. But the teams they're playing against, Jesus, I play as well against them.
Well, Ellie, that was a brilliant question. I have to say, you really sparked a debate there. So big up to you. No wonder you're the queen. That's why you come up. That's why it really feels weird being down here. It really does. It seems like I'm looking up to you two. It feels like like I put in the chat that Queen Ellie and the pointed get on that Queen Ellie and Philip are the mum and dad of our little group, and you and me, the kids, Mia. Mia staying silent on that.
Listen, I'm more like a parent than what you are. I'm less of a kid than you, Dermot. Let's be honest.
Look, I am a big kid, but I enjoy life, and that's the main thing.
I've got 2 kids. I feel like I've got many more with the Tottenham lot.
Well, excuse me.
Carl says Dermot doesn't like being on the ball.
No.
He likes to be a top. Is that what we're saying?
Sorry, Ellie.
He's like Romero. He wants to be on top of the player when he's tackled him.
I wonder what he's going to say. Likes to be on top of then, Ellie. I've got really excited then.
Right. Just very 2 more questions. Then we go to the poll to get your answer, Philip. Andrew Spence, we need people like C. Perriman on the board. Exactly. If somebody new comes in and gets these ex-players in, it'll be a great thing. Klinsmann won't leave. No, he won't leave the camp.
Klinsmann's got a new job anyway. He's in charge of the oh Christ, what was some national team somewhere? I forget where it is now. So
yeah,
he's got a new job.
It's a bit blue on a Friday night. Well, why not? Bringing Mia on, it was bound to go blue. Yeah. But blue is not the color, is it, Ellie and Philip and Mia?
Yeah.
It's not red anyway.
No, definitely not. Celtic manager is good watch. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The poll, Philip. Your question: do you want one more year of Conte football? 76% said no. 23% said yes.
Yeah, and 1% was Antonio Conte himself, was it?
Yeah, we're 5 away from 40. Please, just get the 40.
Yeah, why do we always get 99%?
Listen, I told you, if you pay me in chocolate bars, then I'll vote. I'll do whatever. You've got to pay me in chocolate bars, though.
Yeah. He's doing the national beach ball team according to tequila. Yeah. Listen, I just want to end up tonight. Look, we've had a lot of people in the chat and the show. I've loved doing these shows with like the guys and everything. Please be respectful to everyone in the chat. I know tempers can get frayed and I know things can do that, but please. What I want to say is this: everyone is entitled to their opinion who comes on this show. Doesn't matter if you Levy in, Levy out, Levy down the middle, Conte in, Conte out, or Al Simpson. Would you stop saying I'll do a pole dance? I'm trying to be serious here. Please. How do you know I haven't got a pole behind the flag?
You're the flag.
But please be respectful. We're trying to make this a little family. We all might not all disagree, but do what we do on screen. I still respect Ellie and Philip's and Mia's opinions, and they respect mine. We may not agree, but that's football. You don't agree. You don't agree on everything. We don't agree on everything.
No.
So please agree. Elias, if you're watching, if you're going to come in with this stuff you're coming into, can you please respect when people are going to say something to you? Respect that they're not being serious. Tequila, I know you were probably joking and having a laugh, but please show Elias a little bit of respect as well. But I understand where you're coming from, and I do know. And Mia and Ellie and Philip know my views. We want everyone to be respectful on here. And Tequila, I think you had a right to say what you said. To be fair, but I think everyone should respect everyone. Now we have a new intro. Now, I want to play this intro. It's only a minute long. I want to know what you think of it. So if you can let us know in the chat what you think of it, we will start with it for all these debate shows. Now, Ellie hasn't seen this yet. Philip has. So I'll bring it up now. So let me know what you think. All right, here we go. Right. It's only about 2 minutes, so let me know what you think. What do you reckon, Ellie?
It's all right, yeah. I quite like it. The music's quite funky as well.
Yeah, it is. That I just want to know what the chat thinks because we may use that. So let us know. Wilton McDonald says, "Out the puck, Dermot. Wrong sport, but love it." Thank you very much. Carl Simpson says, "Love it, Dermot." I would give it. I give it a like, Carl, but my fingers are too fat at Carl Simpson. Okay. I tell you what, if you get it up to 40 tequila, I'll drink tequila live on air. There you go.
You're well practiced the other night, anyway.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, very funny, Philip. I do like that. I do like that. Yeah.
Maybe we should have that as our theme tune.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Yeah. Mia, can you put the link in the private chat? Because David Clark's having to go at me because you haven't spoken for a little while. I think David
He's
Clark
missing you, Mia.
He's missing you, Mia.
Can't believe anyone would really miss me, but yeah.
I will add, for you, Born to Lose, I will put Nuno in there. For me, he will always be known as the Garden Gnome.
Why don't you put him? I know what you can do. Put his face on a garden gnome.
Yeah.
And put him in the corner. So just like him in the corner.
Tequila says, "LOL, mate. I already give it like if I could do it twice, I would. But yeah, forget the Mia, what you got coming? If you put the link in there, you're a good.
Yeah,
you're a diamond. You're an absolute diamond.
Yeah, I've got my my show tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. If you're up, set your little reminder.
Hang on, Mia. Hang on. I haven't got your thing in the chat yet.
All right. I was just saying, you asked me what I was doing. Then you
boots or what? Thinks he's Romero, doesn't he, Mia?
Oh, he wishes. My goodness. What a man. Yeah. So I've got my 8:45 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm doing my live. I've got my I'll be doing the preview, then I'll be doing a review of the game. If I can probably have words to say that aren't swear words, because I try and keep it clean on my channel, but it's really difficult when you're watching Tottenham to try and keep it clean. I have to cut out stuff when I'm filming because I end up getting cross. but yeah, I've got all that. So all that good stuff. If you can go over, watch my stuff, give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, give me a subscribe. I'd be very, very grateful. I'm on 241, so I'm only 9 away from the 250 now.
Come on, everyone, get in there.
9 away. Come on, people.
Come on, we can do that. We can get Mia up to the next milestone. Philip, you and Mia on tomorrow. With Around the Grounds, and
trying to get a stream for the Spurs game if possible.
Yeah, and then we're doing a fan show afterwards, aren't we? Is that
if we win?
If we win.
We'll do a post-mortem if we lose.
I'm hoping because I'm going to be at that match. I don't want to lose. We didn't lose against AC Milan. That's one thing we can take from it. We didn't actually lose the match.
No, but we will send Ellie a link. Ellie will pop on probably at half-time and before the match, and probably bring a few interviews before the game. Ellie, The lady stuff's coming back to the channel. You're coming back home.
Yeah, I am.
You tried a bit going away, and you felt a bit teary. You felt a bit lonely, and you said, "I'll come back onto the." So, Ellie, you're coming up. So we are going to start rolling that out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Ellie and Mia's
got
lady
Liverpool
show
this week, the girls.
Yeah, well,
Away.
Ellie's and Mia's show will be back on track, and they were gearing up then for the Women's World Cup, where Ireland and England will be playing. Did you see they moved the Ireland girls, Philip, to the big stadium in Australia?
Oh, I tell you, it's hard to beat the Irish. I tell you,
you never beat the Irish.
Massive support. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let this go. I can't. I'm sorry, Philip. I want you to deal with this once and for all. All right. Let me read it out.
Hold on.
Okay. This is Elias again. Let me clarify which type of fans are the problem. 1, Levy inners. 2, Levy on the fences. Conte outers. All of them enable Levy to ambition. Right. Let's get one thing straight here. If you want to talk bullshit, go to another fucking channel. I've had it up to fucking here with this. It's not the Fine's fault. How much of this can you not get through your skull?
Elias, do you go on to Arsenal? Do you go on to Arsenal chat shows and do the same thing? Because I think you are a troll. I don't think your heart's in Tottenham at all. I think you go around all the clubs and do this. That comment there is totally out of order. You're blaming the fans again, right? Out of order. Don't do it again on here. Go to sites that allow this type of stuff. We do not.
Ellie, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just
as the Queen.
Out, Elias. You're better than that. You're better than that, mate.
At the end of the day, right, we're all fans and we all love our club. You can't tell us that we have to support our club a certain way and go and basically do what you want, and that means that we're better fans because we do what some people want. No, we support our team how we see fit because we support our club and we love them regardless. We've all got the love of Tottenham and we've just got a different path to get there. That's all it is. We've just got different paths and there's nothing wrong. Your path isn't above my path and Ellie's path isn't above Philip's path. No. So you cannot tell people that it's their fault because I think that's actually disgraceful. As a fellow Tottenham fan, I will never sit and point fingers at anybody because I think we should all stick together as fans. It does not matter. We can all have our own opinions. I don't always agree with Ellie or Philip or Dermot, but they're all fans and I respect each and every one of them, as should you, and not blame the fans because I think that is disgraceful and I do not accept that.
I don't accept it because I've been a fan for, if we combined all our years, we've been a fan for Tottenham for over 100 and something years.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, look, on this channel, we're trying to be balanced. So does that make it me and Philip and Ellie's fault? Does it? Just because you want to spout doesn't mean we don't agree with everything Levy does. We don't. But we love our club. We love Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The house that Bill Nick built. Do your history, Elias. Look back at our history. Then come back to me. If it wasn't for the fans, there'd be no Tottenham Hotspur. Bill Nick was asked a question in the dressing room. What is Tottenham Hotspur? He turned around to the player and he said, it's not me, it's not you, it's not the owners. It's them out there that pay your wages. They're the fans. They're the ones that keep this club going. And you keep coming on with this bullshit, and I'm fucking sick of it.
At the end of the day, players come and go. Managers come and go, owners come and go, but we will always be fans and we are the club. You wear that shirt because we allow them to, because the club are the custodians of the club, and they allow them to. So we are the club. They're not the club, we are, because without us, they would be nothing. So don't blame us.
I think the last word will be left with the Godfather. One word, Philip, just finish off this whole ridiculous
fans. To blame the fans is like saying, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a comparison here, you know. Like, you think we're in control of the weather, blame us for the bad weather we're having. It's the same thing. You know, are we to blame for the fact that it's snowing outside here? No, we're not. So we're not to blame for the way the club is going at the moment. We, as Mia rightly says, we are the custodians of the club until the next generation comes along. We pay the players' wages, and it's about time people in authority realise that, you know. But the fans are not to blame for the way the club is at the minute. Not a chance. No chance. And Elias, I do not want to see that brought up again, because if it is, you know, I mean, I'll have to say one thing. If this hasn't put it to bed with you already, then you're just looking for attention by bringing it up again. And please don't do that.
And the Godfather has spoken, so you better listen. I just want to end a quote from Bill Nick, guys, and it says here, we must always consider our supporters, for without them there would be no professional football. It would be better to have more fans watching football the way they like it played, rather than a few fans watching football the way we like it played. That was from the great Bill Nick. He respected the fans, as we all do. And I am sorry, I went Wednesday night. I went Wednesday night, as we all did. Yeah, we were angry. Yeah, we were pissed off. But I guarantee you, tomorrow at 3:00, we will all be there. Me and Philip will be doing the watch along. Ellie will be there. Mia will be watching it. But anyway, we need to finish up because we've been going far too long. And I do apologize. Absolutely. I want to thank you all tonight. Ellie, you're coming back with the Levy show. We've got plenty coming up. I've got a few ideas for you. So I'm going to get over the weekend. We're going to thrash out a few new shows. Philip, we're back tomorrow with our famous Around the Grounds, which we were looking for. Few teams like, what's that team? Solihull Moles.
Bonnyrig Rovers. Or Bonnyrig
Rovers as well. Leighton Orient, we will be trying to follow QPR.
Well, Leighton Orient is postponed tomorrow. It's not playing. They've been cancelled.
Right. Well, Daniela. So we will be looking for that. Mia will be on in the morning, and maybe Mia might even join us if she wants to tomorrow with Around the Grounds at some time, if she wants a bit of fun and laughter and have a bit of fun. I want to thank everyone in the chat who's contributed tonight, like to Born to Lose, Shumu, David Clark, Carl Simpson, Aussie 12, Tequila 316, everyone. Please respect one another. That is the point we do these shows. We don't do them for us. We do them for you. So show respect. It's always a pleasure doing the show with Philip, also Queen Ellie and Mia. It's always a privilege and an honor. I'm very, very lucky with the group I've got around me, and respect them all so much. Whatever you do, look after yourself. We're back tomorrow. In Conte, we sort of trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.